What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. Vladi B here. I want to talk to you today about what you should do and could do if you are in your early 20s. The younger the better, but even if you're in your mid 20s or late 20s, you're still not too late. You might not be able to retire by the time you're 30 if you're starting in your late 20s, but you still have until you're 35 and 40 to make up for it. Basically, you can really watch this if you're in any age and still want to improve your life and grow as a person. But the best time to start is, of course, at a young age. And you may have heard that your 20s, your early 20s, is the golden time. And it's really the case, it's really the truth. And I can tell you from experience, now that I'm older, in my mid-30s, things were easier. For example, you could party all night and show up at work the next morning, pull an all-nighter, still work the whole shift, and then not even go to bed until the next night. Right now, most likely I wouldn't be able to do that. I also don't recommend doing that at all if you're in your 20s. Ever, just don't do that. It's not good for you. The point is that you could do it and you could get away with it. Because your body is young, it's easier for it to recover. You get better faster when you get sick. You recover faster after you work out. You can get back on track faster and easier if you, let's say, you fall off the wagon and you stop working out. If you're in your 30s and 40s, the older you get, the longer it takes you to recover to go back to the same level as when you stopped working out. But if you're in your 20s, it's so much easier because your body is just young. Your mind, your brain, it's easier to learn things. It's easier to make mistakes because you have a lot of time to correct the mistakes and try again. If you're in your 30s or already have a family, it's going to be so much more difficult for you to recover, to make the mistakes. You're going to be more worried about making the mistakes in the first place and might not even try certain things because you are responsible for your family, for your kids, to put food on the table. This is really important to understand because if you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, whatever, still in your 20s, this is the golden time. You need to do something with your life early. Please hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. So number one thing you have to do is educate yourself. Education is extremely important. And when I say education, don't get me wrong, because it doesn't have to be college or university degree or anything like that. The only advantage of going through institutional education is that they will be making sure to keep you accountable. But for some people, even that is not enough. And for others, it's necessary to have someone to keep them accountable, because otherwise, if there is no deadlines, you're not going to achieve anything. If there is no someone over your shoulders telling you, okay, you have to hand in the work, you have to study for your test, they're not going to study for the test. This is one thing about adult life. You have to keep yourself accountable. You have to set your own goals and then set your own deadlines to achieve, to reach those goals. And your parents, your teachers, your professors, they're not going to be there to tell you what to do. You are on your own. And this is why so many people kind of get stuck in a routine of the everyday life. You go to work, you find a decent job, whatever, average stuff. You go to work, you pay your bills, you end up getting married, having kids, and that's it. This routine is going to be going on and on until you retire. And only some people can get out of that routine and actually achieve something greater. But those that are smarter and they start early, they start trying things early, they get so much further in life. And this is why this is so important to think, to grasp the importance of education. Because let's be honest, some people have the talents, but even talent without practice, as a lot of people say, a lot of great people say, is nothing. It's not going to get you nowhere. Let's put it that way. If you have a talent and you don't practice, you're never going to be the same level as someone without a talent, but who practices every single day and even a couple times a day. You're not going to achieve the same level because practice is key over here. And education is also important. So let's say you have a talent in business, but you still need to educate yourself, because your talent, you may have a good feel of what needs to be sold, what people like to buy, marketing, all that kind of stuff, but you still need to educate yourself on how to actually run a business, because there are certain things, for example, as simple as KPI, key performance indicators. These are numbers that simply tell you the standards in your industry. This is how much you have to close, this is how much you need to sell, this is how much you need to have, this is how much your overhead has to be, and no over that. And if you're over that, then you're in trouble. This is how much labor is supposed to cost you. This is how much KPIs are so important. And it's not something that comes from talent. It's something that comes from the industry, particular specific industry that you're in. So number one thing is educate yourself, and it doesn't have to be, like I said, institutional education. You can just sign up for seminars, you can buy courses online, you can just simply, if you want free education, go get a library card and get books for free. It's literally like an upgrade. You're upgrading yourself. Remember in the Matrix how they put in the thing and they can program you, they can upload a program into your head so you can learn Kung Fu, you can learn how to fly a plane, a helicopter, all that kind of stuff. Essentially, our brains are a computer that can learn all that. You just, unfortunately, it's not as easy as plugging it in, downloading the file and installing it in your brain. Maybe in the future that will be possible, very, very possible actually, with all the things that Elon Musk is doing and all that kind of stuff. However, right now, the only way to do that is to grab books, read the books, and practice what's in the books in order for you to learn. Because you can learn anything. You can teach yourself or be taught, and be really picky with what you learn. And the second thing you have to do, you have to find a mentor. Lots of people online these days offer mentorship. So if they are really successful, they end up creating some kind of educational program and they end up trying to sell it to you. They teach you on things that they know. They pass on their knowledge to you directly. They share their experiences, share their mistakes, the lessons that they learn in their life. It's really invaluable, because sometimes those things are not in the course and those things are not in the textbook. Because you have that one-on-one, you get information that nobody else has access to from that particular person. It can be information on what to invest into, how to invest properly, what to buy, when to buy, what not to buy, things like that, things of that sort, what to learn, what not to learn, anything. So education and mentor, and they kind of fall in the same category because mentor will educate you as well. So it all falls into the same educational category in the end of the day. And the third thing that you absolutely must do is try your best to stay away from debt in your early life, so that you don't have to end up paying it with interest for the next 5-10 years or even more. Sometimes you have to, absolutely have to, but all I'm saying is try your best to avoid getting into debt, because if in the future you want to buy something, you want to get a house or any other loan, it's going to be so much more difficult for you to get it if you already have a debt, if you already have a loan that you have to pay for. Unless you're already making a ton of money in your career, with your career, that's great. But try your best to essentially not spend money on stuff that is not a necessity. If it's just an urge, try to stay away from it, because in the end of the day, it's not necessary for your success, it's not necessary for your life, and most of the time those things are bad for you anyways. If you're gonna spend a lot of money on sweets, chocolate, candy, chips, all the junk food, just because it satisfies your cravings, in the end of the day, that's really bad for your health, and you're gonna end up in your 30s with less money saved up because you spend money on everything, not filtering what you waste your money on, and also with health problems, because inevitably you will have health problems. It's so easy to start gaining weight when you're getting closer to 30, because your body just starts depositing all the extras that you put into it. It has nothing to do with it. It can't throw it out. For example, a tank of gas, if you overfill the tank of gas, it's gonna start spilling out. You're not gonna fill it more than it can take, but your body is different. If you fill up your body with more than it can take, it will store it. It'll be like, okay, you're giving me more than I need, let's put it in for later. And that in for later ends up looking like a beer belly by the time you're 30. And you can easily avoid that just by simply maintaining a healthier lifestyle, which is usually ends up being a healthier lifestyle financially, not only with your physical health. So physically you will be healthier and financially you will be healthier. So those are the three things. Let's recap. Education, educate yourself and be really picky with what you're learning, what you put in your box, in your brain. Second, find a mentor, someone who can really motivate you, someone who can keep you accountable. This mentor should be someone in your industry too, doing the same thing you really want to be doing in your life as a career. And the third thing, of course, try to stay out of debt. Try not to spend more money than you need to, and always do your best. If you have a part-time job or a full-time job, try to do your best to put away at least some amount of money into your savings account. And a bonus tip for you is, once you put that money away and build a reserve emergency fund for yourself, start learning what you can invest that money into. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, click the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe for my channel for more content, and I will see you in another video.